Cycle Drag Universe, thank you for stopping back. We've got your VIP pass to the first NHRA race of the 2021 season. It is the Gatornationals, and take a look behind me. Oh yeah, the fans are back, and that is great news for this organization because like so many other businesses, so many other sports leagues, the NHRA was dealt a crushing 2020. They need to get these fans back. Well, in this video, we're gonna take you inside the pits, get you caught up on all the motorcycle storylines in Top Fuel Harley and Pro Stock Motorcycle. As for the Top Fuel Harleys, they've been having trouble getting down the racetrack. We know nitro's not your friend. We know they haven't had too much time to test. Hopefully today presents a new opportunity. On the Pro Stock Motorcycle side, it's a brand new era. Harley Davidson has departed the sport for the first time in more than 15 years, but that doesn't mean the four-cylinder, two-cylinder war is over, because check this out. Vance Hines comes out with their brand new four-cylinder engine, and Angelle Sampey goes 200 miles an hour. Matt Smith is already saying, you might have given him too much. We've got a lot of interesting storylines. Let's get this party started.
For many years, I've seen it change, these skyboxes and the permanent top. John, thank you for your efforts. I for one.
All right, guys, as I said, brand new season, a very positive sign that John Force Racing has returned. Let me show you this too. Take a look at the line to get into this place. We're almost ready to run Pro Stock car, and we still got fans coming in by the droves. Everyone has descended upon Gainesville, Florida, and racing is back. Guys, everybody knew this Vance Hines 4-valve was going to be fast, but I don't think anybody expected this immediate of an impact. 200 miles an hour on the second official run. What's your name?
Edwin.
Where are you from?
Puerto Rico.
You watch Cycle Drag?
Yes.
You the man, thank you.
I know.
Excuse me, young lady. What is your name?
Amy.
Do you watch Cycle Drag?
I do.
You're actually in Cycle Drag, on Cycle Drag, and I just want to know, who's your pick to win the race today?
One of the four out of this camp.
Good call, keeping it safe. Well, this is it, guys. We're in the lanes. You can always feel those jitters before first round, but I'll tell you, the first round of the season, you can cut the tension. Let's go take a walk. Well, give the first win of the year to the V-Twin gang, because Scotty Polishek takes out Corey Reed, 683 to 687. Angelle lays down a 676. She's going on to the next round. So there's your 200-mile-an-hour pass, but it wasn't Angelle, it was Matt Smith. Matt Smith advances 200. Boy, we got an exciting day. We got a lot of storylines back in the pits, and there's not much turnaround time for round two. Rock with us. Well, guys, if a good old-fashioned brand rivalry is what you wanted, we got 4 Suzukis and 4 V-Twins coming back for round number 2. Congratulations to Karen Stowe for a big win. Karen, we're talking about brand rivalry. 4 Suzukis, 4 V-Twins coming back. Doesn't get much more equal than that. Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, but again, within the Suzukis, you also have rivalry because you got 4 valves and 2 valves. So big little Suzuki, V-Twin, all good. I'm glad to be up there racing. Gonna put this war bike, Suzuki Extended Protection, and Skillman bike through into that 3 more win line.
What's your name?
My name's Mike Damon. I'm the Godfather.
How about you?
This is Nick Goodwin. Nick Goodwin.
You guys watch Cycle Drag.
Unbelievable. That's why we're here. Just because of you, brother.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your service, my man.
Yeah, that's what we do. We travel the country and we help veterans, and we're looking to follow you around because we're like huge fans of you, Jack.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you're the best, man.
Look at this turnout, guys. This is bringing back memories of the Gatornationals of old. We got Suzuki versus Suzuki, Steve Johnson versus Chris Bostic. What will the score be after this round, V-Twin fans, Suzuki fans? Let me know who you're pulling for and why, and has NHRA got it right with the rules? Oh, Stevie Johnson finds himself in the semis. He's won here before. Had a good talk with Steve yesterday, and he said, I know my time is winding down. He's been doing this since 1987. That means a lot to him right there to advance to the semifinals. You know, that team's been through so much adversity. Remember last year, his crewman, Jock, had coronavirus. Jock's mother passed away due to coronavirus. God rest her soul. But they're back, and they're going to the semis. Oh, what a drag race there. 681 Flying Ryan takes out Karen Stover. Sorry, Suzuki fans, on that one. There is no more Stouffer magic left, at least for this Gatornationals. Flying Ryan going to the semis. I'll tell you what, Cycle Track Universe, that was a good one to be on top end for. What a race. 680 takes out a 681. It looked like Hector was ahead. That Matt Smith back half came on strong. Wow. Scotty Polachek, Angelle Sampey. So far, we've got 2 V-Twins moving on, 1 Suzuki moving on. Will we even the score once again? Scotty Polachek is hoping not so fast. Upset on a whole shot. 683 to a 682. Scotty Polachek puts Angelle on the trailer. My goodness, 3 V-Twins moving on. Steve Johnson, the last remaining Suzuki. Well, speaking of V-Twins, let's check in with the Top Fuel Harleys. I know you guys want some nitro in this video. Well, you know, it is imperative that we catch up with our embedded nitro Harley expert, the one and only Maddie, looking like Steve Torrance today. I love it. Got the cowboy hat on. Maddie, after a big first round, we got Ty, we got Randall, we got Bobby Malloy, and we got Sharky. Who's taking it all?
T-I-I.
There he is. Ladies and gentlemen, not only is he the defending champion, he's a trendsetter. He's bringing the short shorts back. I love it. 80s all over again. Not only are you bringing the short shorts back, you're bringing the wins back. You guys really struggled in qualifying, and you picked up to low elapsed time of the event round 1. Where'd it come from?
You know, I got a lot of good help in this group right here. Ty, Jay, Mike, just all these guys, Buddy, Ryan. You know, when you need some help, you go to these guys, you ask them. And it was my riding abilities that wasn't there. The bike's there, and it was me. And the help and the information they gave me how to ride, that with the pipes coming out on both sides, it does what they say it's going to do. I just didn't know it.
Well, you're a quick learner. We'll see what he can do here coming up in the next round.
Thanks, sir.
Well, you guys may be wondering too, with Randall's squeaky clean corporate image, what's his PR guy say about that? Wait, we have found Randall's PR representative. Sir, are you okay with his attire right now?
It works.
Is it true you bought him the shirt?
I bought the shirt.
There we go. Okay, there's a sponsor for everybody, right?
Yeah, there you go, buddy. What's going on?
There he is, guys, two-time champion, getting ready for a big matchup with Sharky. Ty, let's be honest, qualifying some of the ugliest Nitro Harley qualifying we've ever seen, but you guys really stepped up in round one. What do you attribute the turnaround for?
Well, testing. We use qualifying as testing. That's what a free show looks like, I guess. But no, we just just the first passes of the season. We didn't get to test these bikes previous to coming here, and and we just got it worked out, making some fine adjustments. Learned a few things from the fuel tech bike. It shows great promise now. That first round was much better. It was on a really good pass. It actually dropped the whole about 4.3 seconds. And still went 55. So Rex is getting that figured out, and so we're feeling good about it.
Team Spevco, Team Sampson, looking to go to the final. Well, I'm being told they are leaving the bike alone. They're going to leave the same tune-up they had in it. One of the big challenges for the Nitro Harleys are the constant schedule changes that they're subject to. Remember, they're sportsmen out here. They're not pros, so they get bumped a lot, and that can make it very tough on these crew chiefs. Ty, have you been bumped once or twice maybe out here?
A lot. We get bumped a lot. We're not feeling the love. I guess I get it. They lost Mickey Thompson as a sponsor, so we're racing for no purse, and but we're still putting up the money. Thankfully, I have good sponsors in Spevco and Sampson, and to be honest with you, right now, if it weren't for Spevco and Sampson, we might be packing up. But we're gonna remain positive and keep our head up, keep moving forward, and the future will be what it'll be. We'll see how.
So guys, we had to do it just one more time. Maddie, who do you think's going to win it all?
This guy right here.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Hey, I got his payment, so I'm ready for him to go.
You got him famous. Oh, you got
Skittles.
Oh.
And I know he wants those Skittles.
It's on. It's on.
Yeah,
It's on now. Yeah, guys, so if you're wondering what Ty was talking about, let me bring you up to speed. There's a little bit of controversy circling Top Fuel Harley right now. Mickey Thompson was the sponsor last year. The Top Fuel Harley class, they have to bring their own purse, and they are considered sportsmen out here. They don't have the long-standing history of Pro Stock Motorcycle. They're not considered pros. So the treatment is very different, and I'll tell you, there's a lot going on behind the scenes to where we're not so sure if the Top Fuel Harley racers are going to load up and just go to AMRA, AHDRA. We're not sure what the future of NHRA and Top Fuel Harley is. Now, what I can tell you as a drag racing fan, Top Fuel Harleys are some of the most exciting motorcycles in the world. If I was promoting an event, they'd be at the top of the list. I love Pro Stock Motorcycle, but Top Fuel Harley, I think NHRA is missing out on how they could market this class. I think, I might get in trouble for saying this, I think they're a bigger draw than Pro Stock Motorcycle. And I say that only from being a promoter myself. If I was going to have an independent event, Maryland International Raceway, Cecil County, Reading, wherever, and you told me I could have Pro Stock bike or Top Fuel Harley, I'd want them both. But if I had to pick one, I'm taking the Nitro. It's got more mass appeal. I don't understand why they've never been able to forge that healthy relationship with NHRA. Let's hope that things improve moving forward, and maybe at select events they get considered pros. Guys, we're here with Hawaii Racing's Johnny Vickers. Here is another example of how brutal and frustrating drag racing can be. $100,000 motorcycle and a $125 part can end your weekend.
This guy here is a pressure transducer for the VDK, sends a signal to the EM box so the EM box can control the fuel curve. And you typically, when they go out, they just go out. They either work or they don't work. This one would work intermittent. It would test perfect in the pit, but when we make a pass with it, it wouldn't put fuel in the motor. So we changed everything under the sun, wire and harness, EM box, tested the BDK, I mean, just everything. And we're just one run too short. We found it after we got put out. And basically, we changed everything else. We didn't have any other choice but to try it. We tried it, and it worked perfect. So anyway, that's drag racing. That's why they call it racing and not winning.
Well, another guy that found his groove is Bob Malloy. That's the world's quickest naturally aspirated nitro Harley. He's been 609. We'll see what he can do here in round 2. She is back on a Suzuki for the first time since 2007. And Angelle, the only bad news is when you make so much noise in qualifying and you qualify number 1, people were gunning for you. Scotty put a 002 on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know you wish you'd be going on, but overall, you got to feel like this weekend was a big success.
It was, you know, if you only knew what I was going through on Tuesday and Wednesday and struggling to get this bike down the racetrack, it was not a good thing for me. I was scared of it. I didn't think I'd be able to ride it. So what happened in qualifying and doing the 200 mile an hour for the Denso Mile an Hour Club, I'm very proud of myself. Of course, we had a couple of hiccups in that second round. I overcorrected. I'm learning how to ride this motorcycle. That Harley Davidson was a beast, and I had to manhandle it. I had to jerk it around the racetrack, and this one's a lot less. You know, just more finesse is needed, and I'm learning that. So I made a little bit of a hiccup. The bike had a little bit of a hiccup, and then Scotty, of course, pulled that 002 is what he needed to get the win, and that's typical of Scotty. He does that, and I'm not upset. I can't be mad at myself. I'm definitely not upset with my team. Amazing guys here. Vance Hines Race Development Center busted their butts to get this bike ready for me because we didn't know till mid-January that I was even going to be racing. So proud of everything. Of course, I was really hoping, because of the way qualifying went, that if I could win this race, we would have earned every single point there was to get. Of course, that didn't happen, so maybe we'll try to get another weekend, but it's tough out here. The competition is amazing, and it's not going to be an easy season for anybody.
Well, you're off to a great start. You've done a lot of things first in this sport. To be the first Suzuki to 200 miles an hour, what's that mean to you?
It means, you know, I don't work on the motorcycle, so it means more to me to be able to drive the bike well enough to get it to 200 miles an hour, to give that to the team, because that's Andrew and Eddie and Scott and Jay and all the guys back in the machine shop that built this thing. They did that. I just did a good enough job getting it down the racetrack to get that 200. So I'm proud of it, but I know what it means to them, and that for me to be able to give something to them for all they give to me is why it's so important to me.
Now, I know it's been a long time since you were on a 2-valve Suzuki, but is there any comparison between these two bikes?
It's been since 2007 that I've raced a Suzuki. They were nowhere near as fast. I don't really remember the feeling of it. I remember it being smooth like this one is, but I've been on a Buell for so long now, and we were joking earlier about it feels like you're riding a paint shaker when you're on those things. So I was so relieved to see that I could see where I was going. My eyeballs weren't getting shaken up. I'm behind the windscreen now. I'm out of the wind. So, I mean, the differences I have to say is I just don't remember it screaming and revving up as fast as this one does. I mean, it is just blowing through the gears. Before I could even think that ship light is on, and I kind of fuzzed the limiter in first gear on in qualifying, and I can't remember. I don't think I did it in first round, but I'm finally catching up to the motorcycle. But yeah, it rips through the gears, and it's just amazingly fast. I'm very proud of it. Vance Hines 4-valve, unbelievable. I wish everybody could have one, and maybe one day they will. So we'll see.
And finally here, people love the debate in this class. There's always something to talk about. I don't know if you saw when Matt Smith accepted his championship ring, he already told the president, he said, you gave the Suzukis too much, you got to put 20 pounds on them already.
Yeah, there's a place and a time for that. When you're accepting the championship ring, you don't want to be thinking about your competition, but whatever. We're glad to know that we're in their minds, and that's always the mission, is to be on everybody else's mind. You know? So I feel like that mission has been accomplished this weekend. We came out here with new stuff, and we showed that we're not playing, and we still have something to learn. So once we get it 100% straight, we're gonna be a beast. This whole team's just gonna be a beast.
Well, congratulations on it all. The sponsor, the team, and 200 miles an hour, Angelle. Congratulations.
Thanks, bye, thank you. Thank you. That's very cool.
Well, the next round of Pro Stock Motorcycle is already on its way to the lanes, and the last remaining Suzuki team is looking to create some magic down here. They got all hands on deck.
Hi, Jack.
Steve, the last remaining Suzuki.
Oh, really?
And you've made some magic here before. Is there magic in the air once again?
One time we won and we forgot the engine at the shop, and Will Smith, who drives a nitro alcohol nitro dragster, he brought the engine down here in the back seat of his Toyota Camry where Grandma rides. So we named the engine Grandma, and we won the race. So we brought our engines this time, so we're just regular people.
Here we go, guys. Steve Johnson and Jock looking for some more Gainesville history. Well, guys, I hurried up and ran down here. I thought I was going to miss Top Fuel Harley. Here's what I'm talking about. They got to get the pro show in for TV time. Top Fuel Harley's still under the tent. And I do get it for the sake of the show, for the sake of TV, but Top Fuel Harley, I think they need a little more love out here in the NHRA. What do you guys think? I mean, I'd bring them to select events as a pro class. Even if it's only 4 events, bring them in as full-fledged pros. Bring them in to races that Pro Stock Motorcycle's not at. Seems obvious to me, but just my take. All right, we're up here in the stands. Do we have any Matt Smith fans up here? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Do you guys...
Right here, in full force.
Oh, you...
MTC, buddy.
You watch Cycle Drag?
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. We got some throwbacks.
Some OG Smith fans.
I love it. I love it. Scotty Polachek, Flying Ryan Ayler, 2 V-twins. Here we go. Scotty breaks. Flying Ryan takes a 688 196 to the final. Who will he oppose? Matt Smith, Steve Johnson, 2 rivals ready to go at it. $685, the Matt Smith fans over here absolutely love it. It'll be all V-twins. Matt Smith, Flying Ryan Ayler in the final. Let's go find some Nitro Harleys now. Finally, it's time for them to run, I believe. Oh, what a race. Randall steps up 636, takes out Bobby Malloy 663. The defending champ is going to the final. Did you hear what Ty said earlier about qualifying being testing? I think the proof is in the pudding right there, because he just goes 638. Turner bikes stepping up huge on race day. All right, motorcycle drag racing historians. We went to APE, we go to Larry McBride's, all these different places, and we see that famous iconic shot of Terry Vance in his Pro Stock days with smoke behind him. It was a poster. And I've asked some of you who was really on the bike. Well, here's a little known fact. Guess who it was? Sir, could you please?
Top Fuel Bike.
Top Fuel Bike. Could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Ron Durham. Used to work at Vance Hines in the 80s to 84.
So this was the poster of the Top Fuel Bike.
Top Fuel Bike.
And what, you just were the stand-in for Terry?
Yeah, I stood in for Terry. The camera was up on a ladder. You know, we were there at Orange County Raceway in California, and he wanted to see what the shot was going to look like. Had smoke machines around the bike and all that stuff.
That's cool. Oh, now you can say you got your place in motorcycle drag racing history, huh?
Oh, yes.
Playing a star again, there I go, turn the page.
Well, guys, it was an historic Gatornationals. This guy, Steve Johnson, has been here since 1987. You've seen it all. Steve, you and I spoke pre-race, and you said this is a once-in-a-lifetime evolution of the class. Welcome to the 4-valve era.
It's really cool, dude. Motorcycles over in NHRA is neat because there's a different platform over here. And when you love motorcycles, whether you're Man Cup or Pro Star or wherever you came from, it's just fun to race motorcycles. And I think it gives us a chance with you and with all the other media people just to scream, hey, we love motorcycles and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, speaking of that, Steve, you know, everybody loves the debate in this class, the interesting topics, okay? I know that you saw it when Matt Smith got his ring from President Glenn Cromwell. One of the first things he said is, Glenn, you gave the Suzukis too much. I think they need 20 pounds right off the bat.
As soon as Matt talks, you either know that you better get ready or send the track dryer, because he's going to shoot something out the ballot saying he's going to tear your throat out, or he's going to cry. And so, I mean, I'm not saying anything that nobody doesn't know, but if you want to dig into some dirt, find out what happened at the Gatornationals that I won't repeat. But man, there was some good shenanigans going on here, man.
We're going to try to get to the bottom of it, but we want to congratulate you. You go to the semis here. You and I spoke pre-race. Like I said, you've been out here longer than anybody. It's very difficult to continue to compete on this level, to find the funding that you need. We hope you're out here for a long, long time, but we do know, unfortunately, at some point, careers come to an end. Do you have any type of timetable here for as many years as you'd like to?
Yeah, absolutely. Our timetable now is we're looking for a second rider, and we want to put somebody else on a motorcycle and kind of do what everybody else is doing to spread along the love and help train somebody. Obviously, it costs money, but I'd love to pass on some of what I've learned, and at the same time, I think it's a great opportunity. Right now, NHRA, they said whatever they said is going to be happening at Gainesville for fans. It was so cool. I'm not going to tell you how many fans were here, but there were a lot of people here on Saturday. Our sport is healthy, it's strong, and it's so invigorating. Mac Rack and my buddy Tony Toll. Some of these sponsors are people that used to race pro motorcycles. So Tony Toll everybody knows him in the comp classes back in a few years ago, a long time ago. But it's our sport is hot right now, and I'm going to even try to get over to that 460 class. Come see what is his name? Boo Brown.
Boo Brown, Hollywood Jackson, all those guys.
And George Babor and all that stuff. So love to be there.
A lot to look forward to. Well, Steve, congratulations on a great start.
Thanks, guys.
Big win, Matt Smith. Congratulations. Matt Smith, going to be another force to be reckoned with this year. And we have made it to our Top Fuel Harley final. Ty Tharp, Randall Andrus, last year's champ, the guy who won the championship the 2 years before that. Matty's changed shirts. Is Ty still bringing it? This young lady over here predicted you would win this thing. We're one win away. There you go, Matty. Randall, you are one win away from sealing the deal here, just like you did to start last year. How do you feel about your chances?
You know, the ride has come back to me on this new DJ equipment, and I feel good. Ty's got a very hot bike. Ty's a good rider. Cuts a good light. But we likewise can do the same. Do I feel I'm taking? Absolutely.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It is time for the Top Fuel Harley final. It's all Jay Turner Racing. 640, 213. Randall Andrews begins this year just like he ended last year. He is victorious. He is your champion. Congratulations, Randall. Congratulations, guys. Bulldog, you did it. Congratulations. Well, I know one fan who's not celebrating.
Oh, man.
What do you think? We can't win them all, Maddie.
No, but I really want to have to win this first race.
Final round appearance is not bad, though. All Jay
No.
Turner Racing.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to be happy for Randall.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Maddie, we'll see you at the next
Yeah,
one.
hopefully.
Well, what do you think? Awesome Gator Nationals or what?
Oh yeah, my buddy Josh Harsons, I know from Ocala, is now a Gator Nationals top fuel champion.
So
Which
cool.
is awesome.
Well, Matt, I know you're a Ric Flair fan, and to be the man, you got to beat the man. And right now, Gator Nationals, the defending champ, is still the man. Take me through what was a pretty exciting weekend.
Yeah, you know, we worked all winter long to make our stuff more reliable, and you know, we didn't look for power this winter. We were fast last year, so we just tried to make our stuff better as far as reliability. And first pass here, the brake rotor exploded, and went 199.80 some and had no brakes. As soon as I hit the brakes, the rotor exploded, and luckily it didn't lock the front tire up. But we went to the beach and went about 20 foot from the net, and we come back, and Corey and Joey let me borrow a wheel and front brake system, because we had all 4 bikes, you know, running. So they let me borrow a wheel and brakes, and we went 200 about every time with that wheel and brakes. So and it stopped good. So can't say enough, you know, about our Denzo, Lucas Oil, Mark Stockset, Greg Butcher Trucking. I mean, we didn't have the quickest bike here, but we had the fastest bike here, and they just got to put some weight on them things so we can slow the ETs up. They ain't showed their hands yet, you know. When they figure that tune up consistent on the back half, we're going to really get beat up. But right now, we're the #1 bike, and we get to hold that for a couple weeks.
Well, that's what I got to ask you about. Fans love the debate, the parody, the rivalry. Harley Davidson departs, and we thought maybe some of the controversy with the rules would be gone, but here we go again. I saw as soon as you got that championship ring from President Cromwell, you said you gave the Suzukis too much. I need some help.
Yeah, they did. They gave them too much. I mean, we've been developing this motor for 5 years now. To get to where we're at, they have 3 months developing it, and they're already faster than we are, or quicker than we are. They went 200, so they did hit the tune-up one time on the back half, but then they missed it on the rest, going 196 to 198, you know. So once they figure that out, we don't stand a chance. So right now they need 15 pounds, maybe 20, or take the fuel back away. They gave them fuel also. So, you know, hopefully they'll do something before we go to the Fort White in Vegas. Our sponsors race Denzo, and so we can put a good showing on. We just want to be in the hunt. You know, we really wasn't in the hunt today if she would have done her job, and you know, they had the best bike here. But you know, we'll keep trucking, and we'll see what happens.
You've been in this game a long time. We've never had a Suzuki run 200 miles an hour before this weekend. For Angelle to do it on pass number 2, do you think that speaks to how much power that 4-valve has?
Yeah, they got big power, and you know, if anybody wants to prove me wrong, go buy me one and a couple motors, and I'll show you how fast that thing really will go.
Is there a chance we see you on a Suzuki at some point this year?
I mean, if somebody gets me one, yeah, I'll do it, because plain and simple, I mean, I want what everybody else has, you know, and I'll make it better than what everybody else has. So just give me the opportunity, and that's all I ask for.
Well, big congratulations. You are the Wally winner once again. Well, a very successful start to the season for flying Ryan Ayler. Congratulations, man. What a start. You go to the final this close from taking it all from Matt Smith, but we always know he's a tough out.
More like this close, you know. but yeah, I mean, we've definitely been working hard. We came into this weekend, though, very unsure, because like a lot of teams, it's the first race of the year. We didn't get a lot of time to test. We were planning on testing earlier at Bradenton a couple, you know, like a month ago, and the power wasn't there in the engine room, and we decided to use our time and our resources to stay home and work basically for 3 weeks straight in the flow bench, or in the flow room. And
very impressive start. You really built off that momentum that you started to get rolling last year. I think everybody knew after you won last year that you were for real, even with your own power. And what I want to ask you is, you are one of the few guys that has your own power. We've already got the debate going on, 2 cylinders versus 4. Matt Smith was vocal this weekend saying they gave the Suzukis too much. Clearly, though, it's a V-twin that wins. Where do you stand on this thing? Does NHRA have the rules right, or are we going to be looking at these rules all year?
I think you'll be looking at them for a little while. Being that the 4-valve Suzuki program is very fresh, I'd have to say it's virtually impossible for them to be putting everything out on the table that they have. There's still other teams that are shaking it down, so I think you're going to start to see maybe a little changing of the guard, where you'll see a flip-flop, where you would see multiple Buells in the final. Now you're going to maybe see a combination thereof. Steve Johnson did show that he can make it down to the end of the track, and he put some performance up, and we all seen Angelle put the high performance up. So it becomes just like we see all year long. No one just runs away with it. It's a drag race. You're going to have to cut good lights, go to A to B, and do your job as a rider and a tuner. And the builder side of it is what we're really talking about. Did Vance Hines build a superior engine? Yes, they obviously did. Is there a major difference in the rules now they're favoring them? Won't say major difference, but there's a difference. And as they start to finally tune in their program, NHRA will do a good job of bringing it back into a competitive situation, because NHRA has always done that.
These men are fearless. 3 championships between them. My goodness, what a final round. All you guys watching out there, if somebody doesn't step up and sponsor this class, I don't know what to say, because another thrilling side-by-side race, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Take me through it from your perspectives.
Like what you just said, man, we really want somebody to come and sponsor the class. We finally getting lifted off the way it's a good show. We really want to see somebody pick the class up. We don't want to see it die by the way, So if you're out there, please step up. Cycle Drag is the one to call and contact.
Thank you very much.
Skittles.
Yeah.
We're a big fan of Skittles. Maddie is an icon at the drag strip period, and she loves Skittles. So Mr. Skittles, if you're listening,
come on with it,
dog. Yeah.
Ty, tell me about that final round. Looked like you had a jump early, and then Randall just motored away.
Oh, I cut his eyes out. It was bad. I mean, I just blistered him off the tree, and it was really rocking and rolling. And then I got a little tire shake, and it was just enough tire spin to drop a hole. And then Randall and his mojo, it just keeps on motoring. I got to see it was a pretty pass Randall made. I saw the whole thing. Well, I saw the last 900 feet.
What I'm saying about it, look, when he did, and he did everything he said. He jumped out, he cut us out, cut our eyeballs on the tree. Motorcycle took off and went ahead of us. If his wouldn't have rattled the tire, shook it, he would be the champion at this race, no question about it. It is racing. It's all about the tuning. We've got some good equipment. We had a great race, but I knew it would be tight no matter how we shake it down. It was going to be a good race.
Well, it's always fun to see the competition between you two of the best. And Ty, you and I talked about it preseason. It was the hot start that Randall got off to last year where nobody could just catch him. Here we go again. How are you going to cool this guy down?
Man, it's hard. I don't know, the trend has been, let's see, Jay went back to back, I went back to back, so Randall probably going to go back to back, but I'm going to get a couple in there in the meantime. I'm telling you.
Randall, you seem so cool and collected. Do you feel any more pressure being the champion, coming with the #1 this year?
Hell, man, I was just thinking about how to ride this bike with that new bike configuration, man.
Well, we got to talk about that, because I don't think a lot of people realize when we changed the pipe configuration, this thing handled completely different than what you're used to.
Absolutely.
What was it like from your perspective?
Well, it's gotten just like they said. It's gotten simpler. It's gotten balanced. It's gotten easier to ride. But, when you ride one of these beasts with the exhaust coming out one side, man, you got a style or a way you usually ride, and it's totally different now. Ty has gotten a hold of it. Ryan has got a hold of it, and I'm learning to get the hold of it now.
You're doing pretty good.
I'm happy.
You're doing pretty good.
Yeah. I gotta beat Ty while
it's BA brackets.
So finally, to wrap this up, I want your thoughts, guys. I'm a motorcycle guy, so I'm biased. Absolutely love Top Fuel Harleys. I think you guys are so entertaining. We know that NHRA primarily a car organization. Is there a future for Top Fuel Harley in the NHRA? Can we show the higher ups and the brass that this is a class that not only should be here, they should be elevated, and they should be something that is recognized as a draw, something that brings fans in?
Absolutely. This is, we need to attract sponsors. And if we attract the right sponsor, NHRA will play ball. I'm of the opinion that's what it takes.
You know, the motorcycles really come a long way. They involved into motorcycles that will run a great number, motorcycles that will hold up the whole duration of the race. So the motorcycles are there, so you can have a really full class of racers and have a great event, you know, with low numbers. And we really love to see someone want to pick this up.
No doubt, guys. Well, I know wherever you end up, you're going to put on an awesome show. Let's hope it's right here, NHRA. Keep these bikes here. They're awesome. We're going to get you guys a sponsor and get you some money. Ty, congratulations. Randall, congratulations. Get ready, fans. I think it's going to be another dogfight this year between these two.
Thank you very much, brother. We appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4-valve era is officially upon us. Eddie Krawick, Andrew Hines, the two legends of the category. First off, I got to ask you guys, how strange was it? You got your legend status.
Yeah, man.
He's aging us. People don't realize how far I go back with Eddie, man. Yamaha 600 Super Sport.
Right.
That's how far
We're
we
going
go
back 1998, 99. I'm an old man.
That's right. How strange was it this weekend being in street clothes and not being in your leathers?
It wasn't actually. Andrew and I just had this conversation. It actually felt pretty good.
Yeah, just kind of treated like a test session. At no point did I miss it.
You know, we had a lot going on, and obviously, it's no secret we built Corey and Joey's bike and worked on that, and we had a big part of that program. You know, debuting the new engine package, debuting Angelle on a Suzuki. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, he says it's so nonchalant, debuting a new engine package.
Yeah.
That thing hadn't been down a racetrack, it only been dyno proven, you know, and that only takes it so far. So
we kind of
have a knot in your stomach flying down to Florida on Sunday and wait for the truck to get there because it didn't leave till Sunday morning.
So I'll give you the 30-second story. These bikes were not together as of Tuesday of this past week.
Tuesday?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, literally, they were bare frames. We got them to the point that they had front forks on them, no wheels, no nothing. It was forks and chassis. I could probably date you a picture and show you.
You guys are off to a great start. Congratulations. As a fan of the class, it's really exciting that we have this new era. So the final question, you know that maybe I've always been one to
Don't ask it, Jack. I can hit you on camera.
Just stir the pot a little bit. You can't hit. I'm gonna ask this very delicately. A new era starts, right?
Sure.
So we think, okay, we're off to a fresh start. It took exactly one pass, okay? And this is great because fans embrace this debate. Everybody's got their favorite make. But Matt Smith said to Glenn Cromwell when he took his ring, he said, "You gave those Suzukis too much. I need help."
Listen, here's what it comes down to. The Suzukis and inline 4 cylinders needed help. Doesn't matter how you look at it. I mean, thankfully Sunoco listened. You know, we've been collectively as a class, we've been all talking for the last 2 or 3 years about a fuel situation. The two different engine platforms in our class. You have one engine that accelerates from 6,000 to 14,000 RPM in 1 second. You have a V-twin that accelerates from 6,000 RPM to 10,000 RPM in 1 second. You can't possibly think that the exact same fuel is going to work in both of them exactly the same. So, yeah, I've worked with the guys at Sunoco for a little while, and
we didn't tell them how to build the fuel.
Yeah,
they went down a different road and they used chemicals that they had never used before. You know, looking at what they would need to do for a different application, and you know, it's going to work across all platforms. It's not just a Suzuki specific.
Yeah, it works in everything, and ultimately, it benefits everybody. It benefits everybody in the class. It's not something, but we need 4 cylinders out here. We need 2 cylinders out here. We need as much competition as we can get. Without competition, I mean, at that point, it's just as bad. It's bad to watch. You know, you need 4-cylinder lovers. You need 2-cylinder lovers. You need everybody in between. So, you know, for us, that's what we worked on. But all I will say is I really do think the Suzuki is a very competitive package now. We're excited. I mean, we're glad that we get to tune on the thing, and we're learning. There's going to be more customers out there with the new 4-valve stuff going into the next couple races. So it's only going to keep growing and growing. I mean, right now we have a pretty proven package that's hard to beat. So we're happy with it.
No doubt. Well, all of this, no matter what side of the fence you're on, is good for the class. As long as these fans are engaged, as long as they're entertained, that's what matters. Great showing, guys. I can tell you this, I don't think there's going to be any rule changes until a 4-valve Suzuki actually wins a race, because we haven't gotten there yet. Matt won this one, so I'd say right now you guys are pretty safe in terms of rule changes.
I don't see it even possible, because he goes 200 mile an hour every lap. So when you're clicking off 200s, it's kind of hard to justify. You got to change somebody that's going 200s quicker than you that put 400s on you in 60. So when you start doing the math numbers, it kind of all works out. But we're excited. That's all I can say is we're excited. We see some light,
and it's been fun. It's been many years since we got to work on one of these things. It's an interesting change of pace.
We even had Byron. Byron was like, Byron's been the employee of the month at Vance Hines, by the way, at the race shop. At the RDC that we got. It was really neat that when you're building these bikes, Byron comes in, he's like, "What's next, guys? What do you want? What
can I make for you?"
Yeah, what can I make? Because we were so busy putting bikes together, assembling.
And he's doing all the head work.
Yeah.
He's finishing tapping holes. He's installing valves, putting springs in, setting lash, doing everything.
Doing the line bore and the cams, and then he was doing valve jobs too. So, it was a whole collaboration, but he was like, man, this head is just so badass. He's like, I want to work on it.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Well, we hope to see him at the races this year. It was great to see Terry Vance out here this weekend, and I'm telling you, it's going to be an exciting year in the class. Look forward to seeing you guys. I said last question, final thing. I remember you gave me a great quote in that press release, the article that I did on you this past offseason. You said 99.99% chance we see you or Andrew on a bike this year. We still keeping that 0.01 away? We still looking good?
It's gonna happen. I mean, right now it's just we need to focus on our customer stuff. We needed to make sure. More important, we needed to deliver 2 motorcycles. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody out there that's building and selling motorcycles that they delivered one that went 678 on pass number 7 or 8, whatever it was. So, yes, there's rental bikes and yes, there's proven bikes, but they own their equipment. That's theirs. They can do what they want. But I think it's really going to be a great joint effort working with those guys, working with a few of our other customers to where, Cecil HTP tuning and on that end and us tuning on our end, and we're sharing data. I mean, you're talking that's 3 motorcycles going down the track every session. Hopefully it gets to the point where there's 5 motorcycles going down the track every session. And if we can do that, I think it's only going to help our knowledge base and help us grow a little bit. There's other trailers out here that have 4 or 5 motorcycles in them. And when you have that, it just gives you that much more data.
Awesome, guys. Pro Stock Motorcycle 2021. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And just like that, drag racing is back. Guys, last year during the pandemic, we traveled far and wide to try to bring you as much entertainment as we possibly could. We know that we're not through this thing yet. We know that some states are out there still quarantining. You may be quarantining, so we're gonna do what we can to bring you all the entertainment we can. If you can do one favor for me, be a friend, refer a friend, and if you like this video, here's another one for you. Hit subscribe right in the middle if you're not yet subscribed, and if there's anything fast motorcycles, we're in. From the Gatornationals, Cycle Drag rolls on.